They recently added a new country to Geoguessr, which is Namibia, which is on southern Africa, bordering both Botswana and South Africa. So there are a decent bit of not quite metas, but techniques used to reaching guess the country better that are already here because we know what the bordering countries look like. So this tips and tricks video will be over Namibia, but a lot of it will just be what I have noticed, not official metas yet, because it just haven't come out yet. Namibia is just that new. But I will tell y'all all of the things that I know or have seen and noticed about guessing in Namibia. So let's get to the tips and tricks. Namibia, it's the car is blurred right now, but Namibia uses the white pickup truck that a lot of countries like Senegal, Oman, Kazakhstan, Panama, all of them use it. And the bordering countries like Botswana and Zaire don't use that. But going on to the actual rounds, Namibia has outer yellow lines, just like Southern Africa and the Middle East. But we have these signs, the red and white signs, mostly like European type signs, but you see them a lot in Southern Africa, so that just distinguishes it from the Middle East, and you just get the African vibe, as well as the Southern Hemisphere, but that doesn't matter. But Namibia has pretty much only the main roads covered. I will make a tips and tricks video for every single country in the world whenever I hit 500 subscribers, and I'm getting close, so let's hit it. And some smaller roads in the more populated areas, like up here near Windhoek or in the mountains. But onto the actual round. Red soil is mainly a thing you see up in the north, near like the Angolan border. I tend to see. So like this one of these roads, for example, somewhere up here, red soil, you see around like the entire north. There could be red soil in other places, but I just don't see it as likely. Yeah. So we are in the north. Another thing about Namibia is that north of the capital and south of the capital are very different. The north is easier to tell, and the south is harder to reach and guess. But on to the next tip. So Namibia it's a very sparsely populated country. It's like 3 million people roughly in a massive area. So if you're in a town that looks like Southern Africa, and you see the car, you're 90% of the time gonna be in Windhoek. There are other big cities like this one, up in there, on the coast in a few places. But yeah, if you're in a big city, you are pretty much always going to be in Windhoek. So you could just line something up like this, for example. Okay, so around like this. This is a typical South Africa, pretty much. Well, Western South Africa. The shrublands with the distant mountains and hills. Just with like the fence. This is just a typical South Africa. So if it looks pretty much just like South Africa, you're going to be in the south. Mainly the southeast, where you're not in the big mountains. And you can also tell because you have the big car. You're going to be somewhere around here. So like this could work. Oh, or even on the road to South Africa. But yeah, this little spot of South Africa looks a lot like Namibia. Okay, so red soil mainly in the north, like I said. But around like this, just a very long road with dead trees going on the bordering. You see a lot of roads like this in Botswana. But the red soil is not typical for Botswana. So you're going to be close to Botswana, but not in Botswana. You're going to be in Namibia. Something else I should know about Namibia is that there's a lot of different things about the car in many different parts of the coverage. I'm not getting into that. I think it's lame. So yeah, we're probably going to be on a road that borders Botswana, like this one or something. That one. It's on the road to Botswana. It looks like Botswana, but it has very red soil. So you're going to be on a bordering road to Namibia. Well, to Botswana, but in Namibia. Okay, since this is really it's pretty tropical. Well, yeah, very green. When it's green, you're pretty much always going to be in the north. Pretty much this little green area, which I will get to later, and north, you'll see a lot of trees and such. So you'll just go north. And if you're on, let me talk about over here. Over here is, I forgot what this little area is called, but the main roads are recognizable because they're just long straights pretty much. But when you see more unpaved roads, you're probably just gonna be near the Angolan border more likely. Okay, so when you're in the pure desert, like this is just a desert. This could looks like desert in South Africa, it could be in the Middle East. But the desert is the south of the country. But you gotta be aware is that this part of Namibia, pretty much just above the Springbok area here, is full of mountains and hills. So you don't want to get guessed there. So you want to guess maybe around the central part of the south, like around here, where it's a desert but not too mountainous. Yeah. Somewhere like not too far south. But since it's the desert, you'll be in the mid-south area. Okay, so this isn't Namibia, but this is what northern Botswana looks like. But this is exactly what this area of Namibia looks like. I'll be a different camera quality since it'll be in Gen 4 rather than Gen 3. So this exact road in Botswana, you can tell by the car, is this one. This is pretty much exactly what this looks like. But I can't really get coverage for that yet because they're still sort of updating the Namibia coverage. Here we have a lot of mountains and hills. A lot of mountains and hills means you're going to be in the south of Namibia, but on the western side. Mainly around here, though you can get mountains a bit further north. And even towards here, which there is coverage here as well. But if you guess here, you're pretty close. So around here is where all the mountains are, and this road is pretty decent. Okay, and this is the part of Namibia that doesn't look like Namibia at all. Really green, almost like eastern South Africa looking, but you have the Namibian Google car and a more like Turkish or Texan type road. Also darker yellow lines. Also, if you know South African poles, there's a decent bit of poles in Namibia, but Namibia used to be part of South Africa, so a lot of their poles are similar to the South African poles. But when you see an area like this, really green, doesn't look like anything else, you're going to be in this little pocket right here, always. And this is just what it looks like. That is going to be about it for the Namibia video. If I get more details, I'll probably update this in like the future sometime. But this is just what I have gathered about playing Namibia rounds, and has actually helped me reach and guess the few times that I've gotten the country in actual like matches or such. But yeah, I'll see y'all next time. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you want to see more tips and tricks, or if you want me to get to 500 subscribers for even more tips and tricks, hit the subscribe button. And yeah, comment the country you want me to do next, and I'll see y'all next time.